Hey there everybody, welcome to a game of APBA baseball, a game I don't play all that often, but today, or this evening, depending on when you're watching it, I am doing another tribute game to one of the content creators on YouTube, and that is our buddy Utah Mike. His channel is Sports Time Machine, and his favorite teams are the 77 and 78 Yankees, and we're going to do a game between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees from 1978. In fact, it was the final game of the regular season. Actually, it was an extended game because both teams were tied at 99 and 63 after the regulation 162 games. So this is game 163 to decide it all, to see who would go on to play the Kansas City Royals in the American League Championship Series and then eventually move on to the World Series. Now, when I usually play APBA, I usually use the Merino boards and that sort of thing, but Mike requested to just go the basic route. So that's what we're doing. We're going to play this strictly out of the book, just like it's coming if you buy the basic game. I'm going to use the regulation shaker. I'm going to use the main boards for the basic book. No Merino boards, no nothing. And we're just going to play it straight out of the box. Steals are going to be, if the card says he steals, he steals. There's no manual stealing or anything. Everything is by the book. All right, so let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. The visiting New York Yankees will set up this way. Leading off and playing in center field is Mickey Rivers. Batting second and catching is Thurman Munson. Hitting third and right field is Lou Piniella. Batting cleanup is Reggie Jackson. He is the DH. Greg Nettles is at third. He'll hit fifth. Chris Chambliss is at first base. He hits sixth. Switch hitter Roy White will bat seventh and play left field. Brian Doyle in there for the injured Willie Randolph will play second and bat eighth. And everybody knows who this is. Bucky, Mr. Bucky, whatever dent you want to call him, is at shortstop. And the pitcher for today's game is Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning. He comes in with a grading of A and C, and he also carries a K and a Z quality, so very good. And defensively for the Yankees, they come in as a total of 41, which puts them in fielding column number 1. Now, for the Red Sox, it'll be the Rooster, Rick Burleson, at shortstop. He will lead off. Jerry Remy's at second. He will hit second. Jim Rice is in right field. He will hit third. Carl Yastrzemski is the cleanup man in left field. Carlton Fisk bats fifth and catches. Freddie Lynn's in center. He will hit in the sixth position. Butch Hobson's the DH. He will bat seventh. The boomer, George Scott, is at first base. He will hit eighth. And batting ninth, third baseman Jack Brohammer. And on the mound, former Yankee Mike Torres. In fact, he was on the Yankees in 77. But this time he's with the Red Sox. And he comes in with a C-grade pitcher with a Y quality. So kind of a disparity there. But hey, the dice may have other ideas, so you never quite know how it's going to play out. So what I'm going to try to do is to roll this on the book itself and try to show as much of the book as I possibly can for results. And I've also got the score sheet over here. So you know what, I may want to elevate this. Let me try elevating the camera without totally wrecking this. Let me try something here. I'm going to try to do an elevation check and see if we can get a little higher up here to give you a better view, perhaps. I don't know if you call it a better view or not. I don't usually do videos that much with APBA in the basic, and of course the book, I'm trying to show the book. Maybe I don't need to show the book, I don't know, but I feel like I probably should as much as I can. All right, so we're just going to roll. And Boston is fielding column 1 as well based on their defense. Did want to say that. All right, so what I'm going to do is, you know what, I might have to stand up for this one. I think I'm going to have to stand because with all the camera elevated and everything, I can't see around it. So we're going to see if I can play this thing standing up and talk and chew gum at the same time kind of thing. And we'll see how this gets done. So right now, Boston hosting New York. New York will lead things off, and it'll be Mickey Rivers, Mick the Quick, will be the, I'll put him here. And Torres, don't really need to see Torres all that much. Just need to know he's a C-grade pitcher with a Y. That's the main thing to worry about there. But there's Rivers' card. So you can see the numbers on his card, hopefully, pretty well. So we'll go ahead and roll this. I'm going to roll it on the book. And hopefully, actually I'll roll it here. How about that? So I can flip the book without any problems. So here we go. This is for you, Mr. Utah Mike, by the basic by request. And here we go. 43 for Rivers. 43 is a 29. And they're fielding column number 1. So we're in this fielding column number 1 chart for both teams. 29, out at first, pitcher to first baseman covering, unless he has an X. Now Torres has a Y but no X, so it's simply a 1-3 put out as Rivers hit one back to the mound. Easy play for Torres. And there's one away. That brings up Thurman Munson. 52. 52 is a 27. 27. That's a ground ball to third, handled by Brohammer. Interesting, they had Brohammer playing third and Hobson DH. But looking at the card, Brohammer's actually got a little bit better defensive rating, so that kind of makes sense. But kind of curious they had Brohammer playing and not somebody else DHing. Here's Lou Piniella, Sweet Lou, 25 as an 8. So how about that? A C-grade pitcher. An 8 to a C-grade pitcher is a single to left center. So Torres will not able to stop that as a C-grade pitcher. If he was a B-grade or an A-grade pitcher, he would have stopped that, but not as a C-grade. So now we're going to flip to the runners on first base. And again, we're still using fielding column 1. So I really don't need to show the whole book since we're only using fielding column 1 for both teams. So I think I can give a little bit more space by just doing the half-Cs here, because we're really not using fielding column 2 or 3. So maybe this will give me some more room. All right, so runner on first. Sweet Lou got that base hit, and now it's Reginald Martinez Jackson, Mr. October. In fact, this game was played October 2nd, 1978. Reggie, 52 again. It's a 27, and that's a double play ball. 5-4-3, there's already 2 outs, so it's just going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice as Brohammer goes the short way. Flipping over to Remy, and the Yankees go down here in the first without a whole lot of fanfare. So nothing doing. Red Sox coming to bat. And I'll go ahead and put the cards up here this time so we can not cover up the score sheet. And Ron Guidry, the pitcher, he is an A and C grade pitcher with a K and a Z. So control with lots of strikeouts. Of course, this was his magical year where he went 25-3 with a 1.74 ERA. And Rick Burleson's going to get the task, and before I do anything, I need to move it back to the base is empty before I forget. I got these little tabs, which makes it a whole lot easier than when I used to do it without the tabs. So there we go. Now we're ready to go. Now let's see how we get it done. 14 is universally a fly to the left, so I don't even have to check anything on that. However, the K pitcher gets a strikeout. So in this case, I will. So I was premature putting that 7 on there. That's actually a K. That's actually a strikeout. Probably need to clean that up a little bit on the score sheet. That's what I get for being presumptuous. I'm so used to 14 being a 30 and knowing that's a fly to left. And it's very rare you have a K pitcher, but the chart says if it's a K pitcher, it's a strikeout. So in this case, Guidry fans Rick Burleson for 1 away. That will bring up Jerry Remy. 62 for Remy. 62 is a 30. It's another fly to the left, but again, it's a K, so it's going to strike him out again. So 2 consecutive 30 chances would have been flies to left, but the high strikeout total for Guidry puts him over as a K. So there's 2 down for Jim Rice. 51. 51's an 8, but Guidry is an A-grade pitcher. A-grade pitcher takes that 8 and makes him pop it to third. And the inning's over just like that. 1, 2, 3. So neither team can strike in the first. We go to the top of the second. It'll be Greg Nettles leading things off for the Yankees against Mr. Torres, again, who is a C-grade pitcher with a Y. And I'll fill the K in once that whiteout dries. Here's Greg Nettles. 51. 51's a 9. A 9 with a C grade pitcher. A 9, so I do need to flip over here for the C grade pitcher. 9 and a C grade pitcher is a pop fly to third. So Torres is going to stop that with that pop to third. So how about that? One away as Nettles is retired. Brings up Chris Chambliss. Chambliss, 34, is a 31, and the 31's a fly to center. So 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Roy White, the left fielder. Torres kicks it into White. 62 is a 29. 29 is a ground out to the pitcher unless he has an X. He does not, so it's a 1-3 ground out again. And Torres, once again, a very easy inning for Mr. Torres. And we go to the bottom of the second, no score. And it'll be Carl Yastrzemski leading off the top of the second for the Boston Red Sox against Mr. Guidry. '61 is a 30. Again, normally a fly to left, but not with the K that Guidry's got. So another strikeout. That's 3 strikeouts he's gotten, all on having that K rating. They would have been flies to left, but not with the K rating. So Guidry piling up the Ks. Carlton Fisk, 66 though. It's a home run. That's a 1. It's gone. Guidry can do nothing about that. That is gone. Home run. The basic game, you can't do anything about that. In the master game, there's a chance he could stop that with certain things on his card. Possibly could have stopped it, but not this one. So Carlton Fisk send it down the left field line, use a little body English a la 1975, and the Red Sox lead it 1-0. Here's Fred Lynn. 52 is a 27, and that is a ground ball to third. If it's an X, it's a strikeout. The K doesn't qualify for that, so it's just a ground ball to the third baseman. That's out number 2 for Butch Hobson. 43. 43 is a 29, and that is a ground ball back to Guidry. Flips over to Chambliss to end the inning, but Boston takes a 1-0 lead thanks to the home run by Pudge. We go to the top of the third, and it'll be Brian Doyle stepping in. Brian Doyle against Torres. 63 is a 32, and 32s pretty universally are flies to right, unless you have the K, of course. But Torres does not, so it's a fly out to right, and that brings up Bucky something Dent. 15 is an 8, and an 8 versus a C. C-grade pitcher and an 8, I do believe that's a hit. 8 is a single to left center. It certainly is, so now we can move on to runners at first for the next at bat. So Bucky Dent gets a 1-out single. And that takes us to the leadoff man, Mickey Rivers. Rivers grounded to Torres his first trip. 45 is a 14. Torres does not have a Z, so can't stop that walk. That's going to be a walk. And that's going to put runners at first and second with only 1 out. And now we need to go to the first and second chart. See what can happen. For Thurman Munson. 31 for Munson's a 9. C-grade pitcher and a 9. C-grade pitcher and a 9. Out at first, runner advances 1 base. Runners advance 1 base. So it's a ground ball 5-3 as Brohammer will throw it to first to retire Munson, but both runners do move up to second and third. So now we need to change the boards to second and third and see if Lou Piniella can come through in the clutch for the Yankees. 2 down, 2 on. Base hit probably will score 2. 54 for Piniella is a 32, though. That's going to be a fly to right. And the inning is over. So the Yankees threaten, but come up short. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 Red Sox. And now Mr. Guidry will be up to face the boomer, George Scott. Start the bottom of the third. Oh, need to get back to bases empty boards. So let's do that. And now since Guidry's an A pitcher, we won't need that other side at all. We can strictly look at this side. So here is the Boomer, George Scott. 41. 41 is a 24. And that would be a ground ball to short, but with the K, it's a strikeout. So Guidry gets another K based on his K rating. One down for Jack Brohammer, third baseman. 23 is a 12. And a 12 is a ground ball to third. Nettles has it. Flips to Chambliss, 2 down. So easy inning so far for Guidry. Here's Burleson. Struck out his first time. 64 is going to strike out again. That's a straight 13. So the first straight strikeout for Guidry. The other ones had been because of the K rating. This one's a 1-2-3 inning. Sox down in order. And we go to the top of the fourth. And it'll be Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, to lead it off. He didn't do a fielder's choice his first chance. 24. 24 is a 13. He's going to strike out. So he struck him out. First strikeout of the game for Mr. Torres. Here's Greg Nettles. 36 for Nettles is a 33. And that is a pop-up to second, unless the pitcher has a Y. Torres has that Y, so it is a strikeout. So since he had the Y quality, he gets the strikeout on Nettles. 2 down for Chambliss. Flew to center his first trip. 33. 33 is a 0, so we get a secondary roll. So it's going to be a base hit somewhere for Chambliss. 43. 43 is a 7. That's a single. So Chris Chambliss, a 2-out single. And he's aboard. And it's up to Roy White. And now we go to the runner on first chart. 34. 34 is a 31, and the 31 is a fly to center. Fred Lynn's got it. Inning's over. So Torres shutting out the Yankees through 4. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still 1-0. Favor of the Red Sox. All on that home run by Fred Lynn. It's the only blemish on Guidry's account. So Jerry Remy will lead things off. He struck out his first trip. 21. 21 is a 26. And that's a routine ground ball to Brian Doyle. Second base, 1 away. Brings up Jim Rice. He had that MVP season, 49 home runs, 139 RBIs, and hit .315. Slugged .600. 15 is an 8, but an 8-grade pitcher is going to make that be a pop to third. So Guidry put the kibosh on that, and here's Yaz. 25 is an 8 again. That's another pop to third, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the fifth. Still a somewhat surprising 1-0 game. I was thinking the Yankees especially would have more offense against Torres, but hasn't worked out that way. Here's Brian Doyle. Brian Doyle leading things off. 22 for Doyle is an 8, and an 8 against a C-grade pitcher is a base hit. So leadoff single, and that brings up Bucky Dent. He could bunt here, but you know his history off of Torres, so I really don't want to bunt. I'd rather have him swing away and see if he can do some damage. He did single his first trip. Don't really like to bunt in Fenway. 35 is a 39, and a 39 is runner caught stealing. How about that? Catcher to second base, and I don't know where Doyle thought he was going, but he's caught stealing. That's going to go 2-4 as Remy slapped the tag on. And now we go back to bases empty for Bucky Dent. 62 is a 30, and that's a fly to left. So 2 down. Dent hit it to left field, but not deep enough. Yaz was able to get that one. And the lineup flips over for Mickey Rivers. 52 is a 27. 27 is a ground ball to Brohammer at third. And look at Torres, 5 shutout innings. Yankees and Billy Martin looking for, Yankees and Bob Lemon looking for some answers here. All right. So Pudge Fisk will lead things off. He's responsible for the only run of the game with his home run. 35, 14. That's going to be a walk. You got to have a double Z to stop that with the bases empty. So first walk of the game issued by the Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry. We go to first base boards for Fred Lynn. 23 is a 12, and that's a strikeout. So straight out strike. I'm sorry, 12 I was looking at 13. 12 is a double play. 4-6-3 double play. How about that? 4 to 6 to 3 double play, and just like that, there's 2 quick outs. And that'll put us back to the bases empty chart. For Butch Hobson, the DH. 45 is a 14, and again, another walk. So we'll go right back to the runner on first chart. And we'll see if the boomer, George Scott, can do anything for the Sox. 43 is a 29. 29, ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning as Doyle flips to Chambliss. And how about that? Through 5 innings, we got a 1-0 pitching duel going on. So now Torres back out, and he'll be facing Thurman Munson. Both pitchers have great fatigue. They can go 30 batters, so no sweat there about running out of juice. Here's Munson. 51. 51 is an 8, though. That's a base hit against a C-grade pitcher. All day long, base hit on that 8. Let me just double check it, make sure it's right. It's the 9 that he stops, not the 8. All right, so we go to the first base, run on first base charts. Munson's at first for Sweet Lou. Heart of the order coming up for the Yankees. 3rd time around against Torres. 15 is an 8 again. And a C-grade pitcher and an 8 is a single to center. Runner to second. If there are 2 outs, the runner would get 3rd, but there's not. So runners at first and second now, with nobody out for Mr. October. Normally a bunt situation with the base running the way it is, but you're not going to bunt with Reggie Jackson, obviously. So Reggie looking to do some damage against Mr. Torres. Oh, and he might. 55. 55 is an 8 again. 55 is an 8. Now we're going to go back to a C-grade pitcher. An 8, single over short. 1 scores, other to second. So that will tie the game. Reggie Jackson, a base hit. Mr. October comes through. Munson will score. And Piniella will stop at second base. But we are tied at a run apiece. Tied at a run apiece thanks to the RBI single from Reggie Jackson. And here's Greg Nettles. Whoa, 55 again is another 8. We got the exact same thing that just happened. So that's going to put the Yankees in the lead 2-1. Jackson will stop at second. Might have to go to the bullpen here with the Red Sox. They can't keep this 8 train going like that. But they're going to give Torres a little bit longer leash. Still nobody out. Here's Chambliss. 24. 24 is a 29. 29 in a fielding column 1. 29. That's a double play. Double play. Pitcher to short to first. So that will help. It's a 1-6-3 double play. And the runner Jackson does go to third, but now there are 2 outs. So 2 outs with the runner at third. So now we need to backtrack and get the runner on third board. So we got runner on third. Once I get there, wrong tab, there we go. Runner on third. And it's Roy White trying to extend the lead. And he'll do it. 11 is a 0, so that means it's an automatic base hit. What kind of a hit? It's a 55. That's a 1. It's gone. A 2-run home run for Roy White. Roy White goes deep. 2-run shot. And the 6th inning is the death knell for Mike Torres. It is now 4-0 Yankees. Gonna try to get Torres through the rest of the innings. Only one more out to go, and little Brian Doyle's the batter. 36 for Brian Doyle is a 33, and I believe with the bases empty, let's go back to bases empty. A 33 is a, well, actually it's a pop to second, but it's a wide pitcher. It's a strikeout. So strikeout is what we got, and that's going to end the inning. But that's going to be it for Torres. He's going to go 6 innings and gives up 4 runs. So he had a 1-0 lead through 5, but that third time around the order, just couldn't get it done. And that's going to be it for Torres. So Torres goes 6 innings. Let's check out his numbers. We know he gave up the home run just then. He'd given up 4 runs. They were all earned. Check his walks and strikeouts. I see 1 walk. So he had 1 walk. How many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits. And he struck out 2 right there together, and the last batter there, 3, was Doyle, so he struck out 3. So that's the line for Torres. 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 runs all earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and a homer. And for the Red Sox, the new pitcher coming in next inning will be Mr. Bob Stanley. And he is a B-grade pitcher as a reliever, so at least they'll get that upgrade to B, and a B would stop all those 8s from reaching base. So that's something to definitely consider. All right, Ron Guidry is going to come back out now with a 4-1 lead to protect. He's going to start out by facing the number 9 hitter, Jack Brohammer. Jack Brohammer. I wonder if the Red Sox might think about maybe a pinch hitter of some sort. You know what? They are. So they're going to pinch hit, I think. Let me double check it here. 4. Yeah, they're going to pinch hit. So they're going to pinch hit for Brohammer with Dwight Evans. And then Frank Duffy is going to take over at third base. So that's the way they're going to play that. So Duffy will take over at third base, but Dewey Evans is going to be the pinch hitter. So let's put this in here real quick. Evans to pinch hit. And then Duffy will take over at third base, and he's a 4 also, and he is fast. All right, 4 and fast. But right now, it is Mr. Evans, Mr. Dewey Evans, to lead off the bottom of the 6th here against Guidry. Trying to get something started. 15 for Evans is a 10, and a 10 is a base hit. So Dewey Evans does his job, starts out with a pinch hit single. He is a fast runner, so no need to replace him on the base paths. And that'll bring up Rick Burleson. 15 is an 8. An 8 with an A-grade pitcher and a runner at first, out at first, runner to second. So it goes Chambliss to Guidry covering. But now we go to runner on second chart. Runner on second, 1 away, and that'll bring up Jerry Remy. 26 for Remy is a 27. 27, 5-3 ground out, runners hold. So it's ground out to Nettles, and the runner, Evans, with the ball in front of him, had to hold. So there's 2 down, and it's up to Jim Rice. That's the man you want up at the plate here for the Red Sox, Mr. Jim Rice. And he got a 55. He got the roll you wanted. That's a 7. Can't stop a 7. That's a single to right field, and a runner scores. So RBI single for Jim Rice. Cuts the lead to 4-2. And now we go back to runner on first board. Runner on first. Jim Rice delivers the RBI single. 4-2 now. Here's Yaz. Tying run at the plate. 65 though is a 35, and that's going to be a foul out to Thurman Munson. And that's going to end the inning. 1 run comes in. Red Sox get a little bit back, but not what they wanted. They're down 4-2 as we go to the 7th. And the new pitcher, again, is going to be Bob Stanley, who is a B-grade pitcher with an R and a Z. R means he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. He may reduce some strikeouts that would normally be strikeouts. And a Z means he's got decent control. But on the year, it was his best year ever. 15-2 with 10 saves and a 2.60 ERA. Now, when you're playing game 163, you got to bring your best out. You can't afford to try to save him for the 9th inning or something like that, because you may not get that far after that. So better do what you can, is all I can say. And since he's a B-grade pitcher, we'll all be on here. We won't need the C-grade side. So ready to go here with Bucky Dent. And we all know about Bucky Dent. 1 for 2 in this game with a single. 51 is a 9. 9 and a B-grade pitcher is still going to be a single. B-grade can stop an 8, but not a 9. So leadoff single for Bucky Dent. He's now 2 for 3. Still a thorn in the Red Sox side. Brings up Mickey Rivers. 21. 21's a 26. 26 is a fielder's choice. 4-6. So Doyle flips to Burleson for the force. Now Mickey Rivers is at first base with 1 out. And that's going to bring us to Thurman Munson. And Munson's the one who started all that mess last inning. His leadoff single ignited a 4-run rally. 53 is a 19. 19 is out at first, runner to second. So it's a 5-3 ground out. And Rivers makes it over to second base. So now runner at second with 2 outs. And it's Lou Piniella. Sweet Lou. Chance to drive home a man from scoring position. Stanley trying to cut him off. 12. 12 is a 25. And that's a line drive double play, but there's already 2 outs. So it's just going to be a liner right to Burleson. But they would have doubled off Rivers had there been less than 2 outs. So Stanley does his job, keeps the Yankees at bay. We go to the 7th inning stretch here at Fenway. With the score, Yankees 4, Red Sox 2. And Guidry back out. We'll be facing Pudge, who had that homer back in the 2nd inning and was walked in the 5th rather. Homer and a walk. And he's got 11 here. Look at this. Fisk and 11, that's a 0. Has a chance for another home run, possibly. 51 is a 6. 6 is going to be a double. So Fisk homered, and now he hits a leadoff double to start the bottom of the 7th. Maybe they were playing Sweet Caroline in the background to get him going. I don't know. But the tying runs now at the plate in Fred Lynn. Yankees right now aren't thinking about bullpen right now. They're going to ride Guidry. 53 is a 16, and why wouldn't you? 16, fielding column 1, single to center, runner out at home. How about that? Runner does take second on the throw, but Fisk is going to be out at home. Mickey Rivers with the throw. Single for Lynn, and he gets to second on the throw. But Mickey Rivers fires it into Munson. Munson blocks the plate. Fisk can't get in there. And that's going to be a bad play for the Red Sox with nobody out there. You would think they would have not done that, but that's what the numbers say. Number 16, fielding column 1, runner on second. Single to center, runner out at home. So here we go. Butch Hobson, DH. 56. 56 is a 34. And that's a pop up to second, but with a K, it's a strikeout. So again, Guidry, that K quality comes into play. And here's George Scott. 14 is a 30. That's normally a fly to left. And in fact, it still is. There's no K provision now with the runner on second. So that will be the fly to left. And the inning is over. So it's a 4-2 game as we go to the top of the 8th. Stanley coming back out for his 2nd inning of work. He has started a couple games, so he's definitely got the fatigue factor to be able to go a couple innings. And Reggie Jackson lead off the top of the 8th. 44. 44 for Reggie is an 8. Bob Stanley is a B-grade pitcher, but cannot stop the 8. Can stop a 9, but he can't stop an 8. Or can he? No, I'm sorry. I got it backwards. He did stop an 8. 44 is an 8 to fly to center. I had it backwards. My bad. Fly to center. So Reggie with that 8 against a B-grade pitcher. And that's why they brought him in instead of Torres, because as a C-grade pitcher, that would have been a base hit. So 1 away. Reggie flies out. Here's Nettles. 66, that's gone. The 1 right there. So Greg Nettles homers, and that gives some more distance to the Yankees. They now lead it 5-2, thanks to Greg Nettles. Here's Chambliss, 55, rolling these doubles all of a sudden, but it's an 8. 8 again is a fly to center. So Stanley with the B-grade pitcher. Could have been disastrous if that had been a C-grade pitcher. There'd have been a whole lot of offense going on there. But now there's 2 outs with only 1 in, and Roy White the batter. 46. 46 is a 29, and that is a ground ball back to Torres. I'm sorry, to Stanley. He does not have an X, so it's not going to be a strikeout. But the insurance run comes in for the Yankees, and they now lead it 5-2. And now the Yankee bullpen is starting to stir down there a little bit as Goose Gossage is limbering up down there. Here's Duffy. He came in to play third after they pinch hit for Brohammer. Here's Duffy to lead it off. 23 is a 12, and a 12 is a ground ball to third, handled by Nettles. Whoops, down this way. 1 away. Let's clean that up. So an easy ground out there to Nettles. Flips the order over, and it'll be Burleson. Whoops, I forgot to move Evans, didn't I? So this is Burleson. 12 for Burleson is a 25, and that is a ground ball to second. Doyle will make the play. 2 down for Remy. 13 for Remy is a 14, and that's going to be a walk. So Jerry Remy draws a 2-out walk. And that takes us to the runner on first base for Jim Rice. Now Jim Rice can do some damage. 1 swing of the bat can make it a 1-run game. 32 though, we just missed the 22. 32 is a 26. And that is a fielder's choice, 4-6. Doyle flips to Dent for the force. Innings over. All right, so we go to the 9th. Yankees still lead it 5-2. And I believe that's going to be all for Guidry, as they will be turning to Mr. Gossage to finish out the 9th inning. So let's do the totals on Guidry. He goes 8 innings, gives up 1 home run. He gave up 2 runs, both were earned. And let's see how many walks he had. 1, 2. I only have him for 2 walks. How many hits? 1. I actually had 3 walks, not 2, my bad. Missed a walk there. He had 3 walks, okay. Let's do the hits again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only got him for 4 hits allowed. And strikeouts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got him for 6. So he started out with a lot of strikeouts, then kind of cooled off after that. But that's his totals there through 8 innings. 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, all earned. Walked 3, struck out 6, and gave up the home run to Fisk. And now we go to the top of the 9th, 5-2 Yankees. And Bob Stanley's still in there trying to keep things from getting worse. They do have action in the bullpen due to the Red Sox. And as I look at the bullpen, they do have Bill Campbell. Bill Campbell is loosening, a righty. And they also have Tom Bergmeyer, a lefty. But I think they're going to... Actually, they're going to stick with Stanley as a B-grade pitcher. So Doyle, the batter, leading off the 9th. 62. 62 is a 29. Let's get back to bases empty. 29. Pitcher to first, ground out. He does not have the X, so it's just simply a ground ball back to Stanley. 1 away, and that brings up Bucky Dent. 31. 31's a 14. That's a walk. He's got a Z, but you got to have a double Z with the bases empty to prevent a walk. So Bucky Dent draws a walk. He's reached base 3 times out of 4. And now we'll go to the runner on first chart for Mickey Rivers. 44 for Rivers. 44 is an 8. B-grade pitcher with an 8. Out at first, runner to second. So it's a 5-3 ground out with the runner going to second. 2 down. And that'll bring up Thurman Munson. Thurman Munson is on. We go to the runner on second chart. Stanley trying to bear down. 43, he may have done it. 29, 29 is a ground out first base to pitcher covering. So Scott fields it, flips to Stanley to end the inning. So Stanley's going to go 3 innings and give up the 1 run. So Stanley, I forgot to write his numbers in. He's a B grade pitcher with a Z. And he went 3 innings. And how many hits did he give up? 1, 2 hits and a run, which was a homer. And let's check walks and strikeouts. He walked 1. Didn't strike out anybody. Again, he has that R quality, so it's a very low strikeout pitcher. So that's going to do it for the Yankees. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. And the aforementioned Goose Gossage is coming on. Goose Gossage is an A grade pitcher with a K quality. 122 strikeouts in 134 innings. 10-11 with 27 saves and a 2.01 ERA. So Goose Gossage is on to try to protect a 3-run lead. He's going to start out facing Carl Yastrzemski to lead off the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Yastrzemski, Fisk, and Lynn, heart of the order for the Red Sox. 65 to 35, and that is a ground out. First base unassisted, so Chambliss will make the play. 1 away, and here's Fisk. He's homered, doubled, and walked. 53 is a 19, and 19 is an error on Nettles. How about that? First base on the error. Had there been 2 outs, it would have been a ground out, but with only 1 out, that's going to be an error on Nettles. Error on Nettles, so that's going to be a E5. E5, so it'll be an error on Nettles on the Yankees. Keeps things interesting. Fred Lynn coming up. Goose Gossage not really happy with Nettles right now. And here's Freddie Lynn. 62 struck him out, so he took it out on Freddie Lynn. That's out number 2. And we're down now to Butch Hobson, last chance. Now he is the DH, so they could pinch hit for him with a left-handed hitter. See who they got on the bench, if anybody. Not a whole lot. They do have a lefty, Gary Hancock. He's not very good, though, so might as well stick with Hobson. See if he can do anything. 14 is a 30, and of course that's the obligatory fly to left, but with runner on base, it will not be a strikeout. It will still be a fly to left. So that's the ball game. I'm sorry, that was already 2 outs, so that's the ball game right there. Yankees win, the Yankees win. Well, he wasn't around back then. But so I'm not sure what Scooter or Bill White would have said, but the Yankees win it over the Red Sox by the final score of 5-2. Let's do the totals real quick since wasn't that slugfest that I've been doing the last couple games. It is a total of 5-2, and Gossage in the final inning get a strikeout, nothing else. So the Red Sox were held to 2 runs on 4 hits. Yankees 5 runs on 11 hits. So if we look at the box score, as I move this out of the way and bring the score sheet in, we look at the box score, and maybe we'll take this other thing out of here and bring it down to a lower level without me spilling anything. I knew I was going to do that, so I was just trying to make sure you're awake out there. All right, so here we go. Let's get a better look at the score sheet, assuming I can get this stand straight. All right, so the score sheet for the ball game: 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Red Sox. Winning pitcher was Ron Guidry. The loser was Mike Torres, and the save goes to Goose Gossage. And the Yankees win it to improve to 163. Red Sox drop to 99 and 64, and the Red Sox go home. Yankees will wait for Kansas City to come join them or actually they'll go to Kansas City, I believe, to start the series. I believe it starts in Kansas City and then goes to New York after that, because in '77 it was reversed. So they will await the Kansas City Royals in the ALCS. And for Sports Time Machine, Mr. Utah Mike, hope you enjoyed that presentation of your 1978 Yankees, particularly Ron Guidry and his pitching. APBA, I'm not sure if that's a game you play a lot or at all, but anyway, interesting APBA game there. And be sure, if you haven't done so already, to check out Sports Time Machine. He has a lot of sports videos on there, and as the name suggests, he goes back in time to play some of the better sports seasons that were out there. Right now, I believe he's doing the 1984 Yankees in payoff pitch. So, but I'm sure he does a lot of strats, so just a variety of things just to keep it fresh. So again, check out his channel and give him a like and a sub, and he will appreciate it, as will the rest of us in the community, because as one grows, we all grow. And a shout out to anyone who is a content creator for cards and dice or for computer sports games, because the sports gaming community hopefully is growing, especially in this day and age of the COVID pandemic. A lot of people are at home and whatnot. So there you go, Mike. APBA, basic, no shenanigans with the Merino boards, as you refer to it. So straight up, and that's the way it ends up being. And it is the Yankees defeating the Red Sox 5-2. And history repeats itself. There's no new magic today. History repeated itself, 5-2. Yankees go on to the ALCS. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of APBA Basic. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.